Slakia. Just let me get this thing situated here. All right, cool. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, through the Spirit, I wanted to just speak a little bit on this, on just believing, all right, and having faith. Brothers, elders and brothers are going into. Mentioned at the end of the after camp, Apostle Gabar was mentioning, about having believing and having faith, because we started talking about the the charagma, and ultimately how the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to keep his elect in that time. And when you go into that word keep, I believe in the Hebrew it goes back to the word shamar, which is to guard or to protect, and ultimately that's what Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to do. And when you really think about the gift of faith, and at the root core essence of what we are required to do, it really starts with believing. Right? Romans, I believe it's 10 and 13 or 13 and 10. Sometimes I get the two mixed up, but it basically says, whosoever shall call upon the Lord shall be saved. And then how then shall they call on him whom they have not known? And it goes on with that pattern. But at the end of the day, you have to believe. And it's interesting because, as simple as it may sound, it can be so difficult for those that it's not given to believe. But for us, who the Lord has opened up our eyes and he has given the spirit and the gift of faith, believing is not difficult. It's really a blessing that it feels impossible not to believe. If somebody, like right now, Barakatha Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, for the spirit that he has put on us, but if somebody was to try and say, look, I'll pay you $1 million to stop believing in what you believe in, it's not gonna happen. We cannot not believe this. It's at the point, we're at the point, which is a beautiful thing, where if somebody says, look, the MOTB, the charagma, right? It's not what we say it is. It's impossible to not believe that. We can't turn around and say, nah, it turns out now we don't believe that the charagma is the MOTB anymore. It's like the Lord, hey, and I pray that the Lord keeps that spirit on us, but through his Holy Spirit, he has ingrained into us that belief. So it happens innately. It's like a natural thing. When you look up the word innate, right? Like if you look up like an innate behavior, it's something that is just within you and you do it. Like dogs bark, innately, right? So you gotta have that belief in you, like an innate behavior. And I remember like a couple of years ago, I did a video that was what is your first reaction? I don't remember the exact title, but I know it was along those lines, right? What is your first reaction? Which is, in any situation, whether bad or good, something happens, what is the first thing you do? And, I use the example of if something bad happens because, that fits the point more, right? If something bad happens, what's the first thing you do? What is your natural instinctive reaction to do? If your car loses control suddenly, or you fall and you get cut, or something goes on, you're not feeling well, what's the first thing naturally that you do? And ultimately, you want your answer to be pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, call upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. If you're driving and it's snowing and all of a sudden you feel like your car just lost control, the first thing before you even, it happens so fast, but the first thing is what? Calling upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, in that very moment. And that's really the only thing you can do. But it'll work if you believe. You're going to do that if you believe. If you don't believe that the Lord is going to do anything, or he has the power to deliver you, why would calling upon the Lord be the first thing you do? Right? If I don't believe that, why would that be the first thing that I would do? It would be the first thing I would do if I actually believed it. You know? Man, people are crazy nowadays. This is crazy. But yeah, and so ultimately you gotta just believe. The kingdom, the deliverance, the salvation, all of that is rooted in whether you believe or not. Because if somebody came up to us right now and said, look, you know, look, Baquar, how do you know that the kingdom of heaven is real? How you know it's coming? How you know that it is gonna happen? And I know by faith. I believe it. Yeah, but I what you mean? That's not enough. I want more. You know, you can show me the kingdom. You gotta take me there. Well, I ain't been to the kingdom. You know, but I believe the words that are written. I can show you the scriptures, but when you're able to visualize what you're speaking about, when you start speaking about the kingdom, not as a matter of if but when, you truly believe it. And that's why, you know, in this truth, we don't just we don't just know the truth, we live it, right? It's a part of our life. An example is, you have people that can sit here and tell you what they want to do 5-10 years from now. They can actually sit here and look you in the eye and say, look, yeah, 5 to 7 years from now, you know, I think I want to be in a good place. You know, I want to at least have a house, or, you know, like start a family, and, you know, just be able to do something. I can't, you don't ask me what I want to do 5 years here from now. 5 years from now, I want to be in the kingdom, you know. And there's certain things that people try to push, and they ask, and they try to go for, but that's where you really sense the lack of belief. Because if you believe that the MOTB is coming out, if you believe that the MOTB is what it is, and you say you're not going to take it, that's a spirit 144, and you say you're not going to take it, right? Why are you thinking of, I want to start a business, you know, or I want to do this, or I want to do that? You realize that you're successful, you start the business. Every business or whatever you have to do that's related to a transaction involves some form of movement of money somewhere. Whether it's credit, debit, direct deposit, whatever it is, there's some form of currency and moving of money and all of this. Being that everything is going to be moved to the digital world, Revelation 13:16 says, no man might buy or sell save he that had it. So it goes into commerce, but a part of buying and selling, meaning just being a part of the system overall, you know, because there's going to be no more cash. Cash is the only loophole. If you really think about it right now, cash is the only loophole for people that are not in the system, because it's hard to trace it, right? And I don't need to be working to have cash. Somebody can give me cash and I can go to the store and I can buy and sell. But when you deal with like a debit card, right? Or you deal with a credit card, or you dealing with checks, these are things where, in order for you to have a debit card or a credit card, you got to go to a bank, and then you got to give them your ID, and then they got to create a bank account for you with whatever bank it is you're dealing with, and then they issue you a bank card. With that bank card is where your transactions can take place, right? You get money put on it, then you make, you know, you buy things, you withdraw, you deposit. So you have to get into the system to be able to get access to that. If it's direct deposit, you need to set up an account, which means you need to be inputted into the system, right? Now, if you said, nah, I don't want to do that, I don't want to create an account, I don't want to enter the system, I'm going to just deal with cash, okay, you could try to manage with that. But when they do away with cash, you'll realize that you kind of have no option. If you want to make any transaction at all, you need to be plugged into the system. You need to be hooked up. You need to have an account somewhere, somehow, some way. Okay? So going back to the business example I gave, you say you want to start a business, you're going to have transactions that need to take place in order to run a business. And all those transactions, in order for you to perform those transactions, you're going to need to be plugged into the system, which means you're going to need that charagma. That's going to be your key, your access. So if you truly believe that the MOTB is coming right around the corner and we in the last days, and you say you're not going to take it, why are you planning for a scenario that's going to require you to take it? You know? But we live it. So everything everything we plan and everything we do and everything we think, we filter it through the scriptures. Okay? We're not going to plan for something that if the scriptures say this is going to happen, right? The scriptures say that, all right, there's a storm coming in 4 hours, all right, or in 2 hours. There's a storm coming in 2 hours. I'm not going to go and say, all right, I plan to go to, and in a few minutes, I'm going to leave so I could go to the beach. Why the hell would I get ready to go to the beach when there's a storm coming in 2 hours or in 4 hours? It's going to be either one of two things. Either I don't know what's wrong with me, or number two, I don't actually believe that there's a storm coming. All right? One of two things. If I believe there's a storm coming, why would I go to the beach knowing that the storm is coming? It's the same thing. If you believe that the MOTB is coming and all hell's about to break loose, why are you planning for 5 years? I want to do this. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you get up and say, all right, I'm throwing away everything in my life. Whatever I got now, I'm doing away with it because it's not going to matter. All hell's going to break loose. No, you got to use wisdom, right? The scriptures talk about, it says, be not over righteous much, lest thou destroy thyself. Yeah, you still got to work. Yeah, you still got to do what you got to do. If the Lord is giving you an avenue for that, then you got to utilize it as you have it. But there's going to come a point where it'll become impossible for you to continue with that avenue, but that's okay. Because if you believe, right? If you believe, the Lord is always going to make a way. You got to have the mindset that, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen in detail in my life, but whatever path the Lord gives me, I'm willing to walk it. So Lord, just give me the path, just show me the way, and I'm going to go, and that's it. If you trust the Lord to lead you and guide you wherever it is you want to go, then allow the Lord to provide the path for you and just be willing to walk it, be willing to have that faith, be willing to believe. Because think about it, what we're saying that we're not going to do, this is like what do they call that? Digital suicide. In essence, we're saying, look, we're about to forfeit the capability of functioning in society by not taking this thing. And it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to live it. It's another thing to do it. Okay? You can't, it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to do it. And a lot of people actually face that reality when the jump shot came out, in the beginning, and we all saw this. And it's interesting because in the summer, before they came out with it, we did videos. I remember the Elder Manat Zakba, he did a video titled, it was along the lines of, what are we going to do if they come for us? Like, what are we going to do when they, try to come to you with it? They come to your job and all these things. We did videos preparing you for it. We told you that your job would require it. We told you that, your family would try to pressure you into it. We told you exactly all of these things. And whether people heard or whether they hear or forbear, that's up to them. But at the end of the day, what happened? What trend did we see? We saw people who at the beginning, they said, nah, I ain't gonna take it. That thing, that we don't know what it is, what experiment, what's in it. We ain't gonna touch it. We ain't gonna take it. And what happened? A couple months went by, same people turned around and took it. It ain't so bad. I'm gonna take it to show you that I'm not afraid. And all these different excuses. What happened to your stance in the beginning? Because the pressure came down. Because then they started bringing what they call mandates. Women should not be driving. Absolutely not. Women should not be behind the wheel. I mean, that's just the truth, man. But anyway, so yeah, they brought the pressure down on your job. But one thing that I always think about is they were able to get a lot of people based on their it's crazy, man, but they were able to get a lot of people based on your job. A lot of people fell because of their job, because they couldn't work. And if you couldn't work, you couldn't pay bills, right? You couldn't, you know, get money coming in, and people were struggling. So look at how many people broke because of their job. How many people threw away their stance, threw away their faith, threw away whatever they stood for in the beginning because of their job. And do you think these people are going to be able to stand up and say, no, I ain't going to take the MOTB? Something I always think about is somebody will sit here and tell you, yeah, I know I took the jump shot, but I ain't going to take the MOTB. What? That's like saying I failed the quiz, but I'm definitely going to pass the test. When do I have? No, I don't. Okay, that's right. That's like saying I failed the quiz, which is a slightly easier version of the test. The quiz has 5 questions, right? 5 questions that are similar within the same category. The test has 50 questions. You're going to sit here and tell me I failed the hell out that quiz, but don't worry about it. When it comes to the test, I'm going to pass that. Flying colors. Wait, how does that make sense? That's like telling me 2 + 2 is 5. You're gonna say I couldn't withstand the pressure they brought concerning the jump shot, but I'm definitely gonna be able to withstand the pressure they brought or the pressure they're gonna bring for the MOTB. That doesn't make sense. Because of your job, you went and took the jump shot. When the MOTB comes out, it's gonna be more than your job. It's gonna be your life. It's gonna be food. It's gonna be your safety. It's gonna be shelter. It's gonna be literally being ousted out of society. It's gonna be the pressure you felt with this times whatever level the Lord is gonna turn it up to. So you can't comfortably say, like, we don't even say comfortably that. We say it by the Spirit, by the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We pray that the Lord keeps the Spirit upon us and keeps us in that time, because we understand, you know, the magnitude of the force that it's going to take to resist that. And I've said it before that the hour of temptation is not a one-day thing. It's not a literal 1-hour thing. the MOTB is going to be out for a good minute. You know, like not long, of course, because the time is going to speed up. But the MOTB ain't going to be out for 1 week and then the missiles fly. So what's this guy doing, man? So you're gonna the trials are not gonna be, oh, they came out with the MOTB today and I said I ain't gonna take it, so I'm good, I passed, I'm good, I'm going to the kingdom. That's not how it works. They came out with the MOTB today, you said no today, but are you gonna say no a week from now? So it's gonna be, when the Lord keeps us, it's not gonna be a one-time thing. He's gonna literally need to keep us the whole entire time. Because, all right, today you may have food in your fridge, so you say, yeah, I ain't gonna do it. But then maybe 2 weeks from now, when your fridge is empty and you don't have money to go and buy food, and you realize that the only way to buy food or get rations is if you go and take that charagma, today you may have said no, but 2 weeks from now, are you gonna say no? What about when they make it mandatory under the penalty of death? Are you gonna say no then? So saying no to the MOTB, it has to literally be a spirit that's ingrained in you, that no matter what, you ain't gonna break. Because you might not break today, but you could break tomorrow. You might not break tomorrow, but you could break next week. So it's gonna definitely be a heavily trying time, but it makes sense. It makes sense because that's the final trial before the kingdom. You know, we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom. And of course, a lot of things are going to be going on, but what's the solution? You got to believe. What's going to get a lot of people? When you start thinking with the mindset, and Salaki, I know I'm not reading scriptures right now, you know, I'm driving at the moment, so I'll do my best to quote them, you know, and read whatever ones that brothers put on here. I'll do my best to do that. But what are some examples of what's going to get people? All right, you say, damn, if I don't go and take this thing, how am I gonna eat? Right? Let's say we go with the situation where they're rationing the foods and they tell you need to have this thing or else you're not gonna get your rations. And you say, damn, well, I don't have it, so how am I gonna get my rations? How am I gonna get my food to eat? When you start thinking that there's literally no other way except you go and take it, then you're waiting in vain, because at some point your brain is gonna tell you, look, my man, you either gonna commit suicide by starving yourself to death, or you gonna go and take that thing so I can eat. That's what your flesh is gonna tell you. You're gonna go in line and you're gonna take that thing so that I can eat. You got that? And if you don't have anything to counteract that thought in your mind, eventually you're going to succumb to it. But when you have the faith, when you believe, your mindset is different. When you believe, your mindset is not, oh, if I don't take this thing, I'm done. There's no other way. No, your mindset is, I don't got to take this thing. There's 1,000,001 ways the Lord can feed me. I ain't worried about food. You know, if the Lord could bring down a manna from heaven for us in the wilderness, if the Lord can bring angels food for Elijah, if the Lord can put the spirit on an individual to go, you know, however long without having to feel like they got to eat, you know, what am I worried about? Why should I feel the pressure of going to take this thing if the Lord has an infinite amount of ways of delivering me? What am I afraid of? I believe the Lord can do it, you know? And we have different examples in the scriptures to back that point up. So when you have that mindset of belief, you'll start to see that there's a lot more doors that are open for you than just what the average individual would think. Average individual thinks that not taking the MOTB is the end of you, because well, how are you going to eat? You know, how are you going to pay bills? How are you going to have a place to stay? Because all they're thinking of is the carnal realm. They're thinking there's only one door, and that's that door. But that's not the case. There's so many. Look, man, we've seen but a fraction of the power of the Most High. The scriptures say that there's nothing that's impossible with the Lord. You know, so if there's nothing that's impossible with the Lord, what exactly is it that you're worried about? Isaiah 59:1, it says that the Lord's ears are not too heavy that he cannot hear, and his arms are not too short that they cannot save. So the Lord can hear you and the Lord can deliver you. What's your excuse for not believing? You know, why would you go and do something the Lord told you not to do if he said, look, don't worry about it? And another, and I know I titled it believe, but the spirit, this is all a part of belief anyway, but the spirit got us going everywhere. So now, you notice Revelation 3:10 is a conditional statement, right? It's a conditional statement. Revelation 3:10 is not a by default, this is just automatically. No. There's a conditional statement. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So guess what? If you want to play around instead of keeping the word of the Lord's patience, while you have the opportunity now, instead of taking the word of the Lord seriously, and serving him and giving it your all in hopes that he will hold you and protect you in that time, you're going to have another thing coming. Because if you're not keeping the word of the Lord's patience now, he's not going to keep you in that time. What does that mean? It translates to, you're going to take that thing. You're going to take that MOTB and you're going to get destroyed. Because the Lord is not going to have any need, any incentive, any reason to want to deliver you. Right? But if you keep the word of the Lord's patience, if you're if you're diligent, if you're serving the Lord, if you're serving him with fear and trembling, fervency, showing the Lord that, Lord, I actually believe this thing, regardless of what is said and what I see, I believe this, then the Lord is going to deliver you. So it's a conditional statement. You got to believe. Yep, this is Naquam, Romans chapter 1, verse 32, which is also a good precept. Let me make this cut. Damn. Sometimes, man, I say this real quick. Sometimes you see Jake, you walk past Jake and it's like, I don't like, what's going on here? I don't even like being around y'all, man. Y'all are just like, it's so messy and just like, like animalistic, The scriptures say that. Whoa, what's this? All right, never mind. Is that a spot? Might need to come back for that. It's just so animalistic. Jake just be out here, just be out here, just to be out here. You know? Why are you outside? What's your purpose? What are you doing? We just outside. We outside. Oh my Lord, oh God. Man, truly we're in hell, man. If this is, I mean, and Jake will make you feel that way, man. You know, your own people, you be around them and you feel like, man, I don't want to be around y'all. You know, y'all, you guys are just vexing. you literally, the scriptures talked about that the multitude perish which is born in vain. I can see why they gotta perish. What purpose do they serve other than to annoy? You know, they live ungodly lives. They're prideful. You know, they're proud while they do it. They enjoy doing it. Bro, what are you here for? Maybe you're just here to make the movie more dramatic. When the troops come in, they're gonna have more target practice, whatever the case is. But man, but anyway, let me read this. This is Naquam, Romans 1:32. Who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have the pleasure in them that do them. So they desire to do the things that are pleasing unto them, even though it's going off, and they enjoy it. You know, now we were going into this at camp earlier today, you know, as to how you got to be able to discipline your members. You got to, you know, of course, sin dwells within these fleshly bodies because we are under these chains of darkness. But you got to be able to subject your body under your spirit, not the other way around. Your flesh doesn't know bounds. It doesn't have restrictions. That's why people, when you look on the news and you hear somebody do some crazy ass, wild ass shit, because they have demons on them. So those demons take advantage of the fact that you don't have any limiters. You don't have any restrictors. You don't have anything to keep your flesh in check. And when the demons see that, they say, oh yeah? You see this guy right here? So they call their buddies and they come and have a party. Like you like to go to the club and have a party? Well, them demons, when they see you, they just spotted out a club and they're renting it out. You know? I like to rent it out for Friday night. And now your vessel has become a party hub for demons. Because you don't have, your flesh doesn't have any guards. So the spirit will see that and say, oh, okay, so that means we can literally make this person do anything we want. And that's what the demons will do. But when you check your flesh with the spirit, you know, when you no, I ain't gonna do that. No, that's a don't. No, I don't do that. Your flesh that's where temptation comes in. Where your flesh wants to do something that is not supposed to, but your spirit is there to keep it in check. And that period of time of checking yourself, you're tempted. Your flesh is saying, I want to do this, but your spirit is like, nah, you ain't supposed to do that. But you're tempted to do it. Your flesh is trying to break those restrictive guards, those spiritual guards that you've set. And when demons come in, or when they try to come in, it's easy to rebuke them because they can't take advantage of the lawlessness in your flesh, because you've been able to what? Discipline yourself. You know, you've been able to discipline yourself. Okay? But going back to the topic at hand, you got to believe, man. When we talk about having new bodies, that's written in the scriptures, but you got to believe that. Do you actually believe that that's real, that that's a possibility? That the time is coming very soon. I'm not talking 5-10 years. I'm talking a very soon time when we're not going to be out here. You know, you got to wake up in the morning. You got to get in your car. You got to drive, whatever. You got to buy gas. You know, you got to buy food. You got to, the air is defiled. The water is defiled. Sometimes you have back pain. You wake up feeling tired. The time is coming when that's going to be no more. But do you believe that? The time is coming when literally these bodies we're in are going to be physically changed, you know, to immortal bodies. We're going to live forever. Do you believe that? You know, the time is coming when we're going to be made perfect. We're going to become gods. We're going to go above being human, you know, and become gods. Do you believe that? You know, it all stems from belief. It's possible if you believe it. I mean, even if you don't believe it, it's still possible because it's still going to happen. Your unbelief ain't going to stop it, you know, but it may not be possible for you if you don't believe it. So faith is a very important thing, and when you understand that, now there's music playing in the background. I don't know how it's gonna affect this video, so I'm gonna say it anyway. I do not own the rights to the music that was playing. All right, if y'all come and strike me, I'm coming for y'all. But anyway, as I was saying, you basically, you got to believe, you got to have that faith. And when you realize how important faith is one of the most important commodities here on the earth. And once you realize that, what should your mindset be? Well, that means I got to guard my faith, right? I have to guard and protect my faith at all costs. Can I fit in here? I might be able to. The water, Lord. Let me see if I could take this spot right here. All right. Let's see. Slakia, Akim. Let me just it's hard out here. It's hard out here. So I gotta take what you get when you get it, how you get it. You know, but the point is, realizing how important having faith is, you gotta have the mindset that, okay, I've been blessed with faith, right? Imagine your faith as a fire, like as a little flame, and you have to guard that flame and make sure that it doesn't go out, because if it goes out, that's it. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna put whatever, you know, instruments, whatever chaff or whatever sticks, you know, you can do to keep your flame burning, to keep it going, because you don't want that fire to go out. You know, you don't want that flame to burn out. So in the real life version, what does that look like? You're reading scriptures, you're watching videos, you're being exhorted, you're meditating upon the things of the scriptures, of the, you know, the spiritual things. All right, doing all of these things will keep your faith alive, and that's ultimately what you want. That's the position you want to be in. Let me just make sure I'm all good here. You know, you want to be able to keep your faith alive, because once your faith goes out, that's it. You've lost everything. You've lost everything. Your faith is like your electricity. You know, I give a lot of analogies, man, but you know, I hope it's still edifying, right? But your faith is like your electricity. You may have a refrigerator, you may have video games, you may have a TV, you may have all of these things in your house. But if you don't have electricity, does it really matter? Right? You may know about the new bodies. You may know about the kingdom. You may know about the MOTB. You may know about the Most High. You may know about the judgments. But if you don't believe it, if you don't have faith, does it matter? Because knowing about the MOTB doesn't mean that you're going to automatically not take it. Knowing about the Most High doesn't mean that you're going to believe in him. Knowing that the kingdom is coming doesn't mean that you're going to change your ways and repent to seek the kingdom. So knowing is half the battle, but in order to actually do these things, in order for what you know to really matter, you got to have faith. So you got to hear this, but it got to be mixed with faith. Why have a TV if you can't turn it on? You know, what's the point in having a refrigerator if there's no electricity to power it? You know, these are the examples, you know, the importance of faith. Faith is what powers it all. You know, faith is what's keeping everything, you know, nice and functioning. And once you lose that faith, you lose all those other things. You know, so it's very important that you guard your faith. Let me there we go. This is a hopeful elect servant of Yahweh God, Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, right? The evidence of things not seen. So when somebody asks you for proof, right? When you tell somebody something and they say, yo, show me some proof. You go and get this thing, and when you show them this thing, they can look at it and they can say, oh, okay, now I believe you, right? Well, our thing that we get is faith. That's all we can tell you. Oh, whoa. So you said the Lord is coming back in a UFO, and he's going what? World War III is happening at this point. Okay, missiles are flying, and he's going just like beam you up into the air, like in some movie. You're gonna get abducted by aliens, and that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. You know, but the difference is you got faith. So when somebody says, okay, well, how do you know that? Show me the proof. I may show you the scripture, you know, but then they'll say, okay, well, how do you know that's true? Then we're going to grab faith. We're going to tell you, we know by what? Boom, faith. There you go. If you can't take it, go your way. Don't worry about it. You know, it's not a bit. Don't worry about it. It ain't for you. Forget everything I just told you. Just go do what you got to do. If you can't see it, you don't want to believe it. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to grab you by the neck? You fat mother. Why can't you see this shit, man? Slap you and like keep slapping you till you get it. That's not going. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. You know, because what's going to happen in my mind is I'm going to think of the scriptures that say that you have some that are blinded. You know, I'm going to think of the scriptures that talk about how you have not everybody is going to get it. Not all Israel is of Israel. So I'm not going to grab you by the neck and try to force the doctrine into you by slaps, you know, because I know you ain't going to get it. So if I tell you, look, you say, how do you believe this? And I say it by faith. You tell me that ain't good enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Cool. You know what? You're right. It ain't good enough. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. You know, do what you got to do. But as it says in Romans 3:3, matter of fact, since I'm parked, let me, you know what? Hold on. Slakia. Let me just get like one or two precepts real quick. And since I'm here. So, right, like it says here in the book of Romans, you know, and as a matter of fact, too, when you think about it, I mean, why wouldn't you want to believe these things? Let's say hypothetically these things weren't real. This would be something that you would want to believe in. Do you actually do you want to believe that this place is gonna go on forever? And eventually they're gonna put a tag inside of you, and you're gonna be a digital slave with an electronic tag inside of you. Do you want to believe that? Why would you not want to believe that the Lord is coming to deliver us? That we are gonna be made gods, that we're not gonna die anymore. We're gonna be perfect. You know, we're not gonna have to sin anymore. The presence of the Lord is gonna dwell with us. We're gonna be kings. We're gonna be rulers. We're gonna have chariots. We're gonna go to different planets. Why wouldn't you want to believe that? Isn't that a good thing? We're gonna be immortal. People fight so hard against that, but it's like, bro, you tell them hell is not a real place. No. They'll swear up and down that hell is a real place. Why? Do you want to go to hell? I mean, damn, bro, like, do you want to go and burn in fire forever? The hell is wrong with you, man? Aren't you? You should turn around and take a deep sigh of relief and be glad that hell ain't real. Because if it was, maybe you might find your ass over there. So this is Romans chapter 3, verse 3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? So what if you don't believe? You know? Okay, if I tell you, yo, the the whole situation with Russia, eventually World War III is coming. Now, I don't believe that. Cool. So the second you said you don't believe that, Ezekiel 38 gets wiped out of the scriptures. You know, Revelation, all them precepts on World War III, they just disappear because your one wicked ass decided you don't believe that. No, you saying I don't believe literally is as important as a fly landing on shit. It does nothing for my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does nothing for my life. You tell me you don't believe, all right, cool. That's it. That's the end all be all. Right? As it says here, God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mayest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged. You know, so you got people that'll, say all this, all manner of things, but oh, that's the spirit. Brother put it up on the scripture, on the comment board, the water. Yep, this is Naquam, Acts 28 and 24. And some believed the things which were spoken, and some believed not. And you know what? That makes it more special. When not everybody believes, it makes it more special. Because it's like, it makes what you're a part of more valuable. Damn, that's like, you don't look at it from the perspective of, damn, everybody else doesn't believe it. Am I crazy? No. Forget them. I've been blessed out of all of these people to be a part of the small group of people that actually can believe this. I'm not crazy. I'm special. Not in a bad way, in a good way. So that's something that, you shouldn't, like, hey, the fewer, the merrier. Okay. It's good. It's more precious that way. You look at precious precious metals and precious things. Something that makes something more valuable or precious is scarcity. Okay, scarcity. When there's very little of something, it becomes more valuable. So guess what? The remnant are super valuable because there's only a few of them in comparison to the whole, the whole world. There's only 144,000 men that fit the 144,000. And there's only a certain number that fit the rest of the elect. The elect, we don't know the exact number, okay, of the elect, but guess what? There are a certain number of individuals whose spirits are on the earth, or let me actually not on the earth, because there's men who are not on the earth right now, but they're still of the elect. But there are a certain number of individuals that are of the elect. And that number in comparison to everybody else on the planet Earth is very small. So that makes the elect a very, very, very what? Special group. Okay? So actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it off on this precept here in the book of Revelation, man. Look, this is a very powerful, powerful, beautiful thing. To believe in this truth, to believe in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, to recognize that we're not dealing with Drake. We're not dealing with the president. We're not dealing with the most famous musician. No, we're dealing with the Most High, the Creator, the Supreme Being, the King of the universe, and his Son, and angels. We're dealing with divine entities here on the right-hand side. We're doing things that people can only hope and dream of. Okay? We're actually having interactions with supreme deities, supreme beings. When we go about in our day-to-day, when things happen, the Most High actually makes things happen in our life on our behalf. The Most High hears our requests. Who are we? We're but worms, right? Jacob, thou worm, and